Hello world, Shelly here, and it is time for your Friday Foundation Fix, where you can get your fix of foundation reviews in between foundation fests. We are in new release season, and I'm going to hit one up from the drugstore. We are going to check out the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. Woohoo! You guys know I'm in love, people, with the fast base stick. And that is one of my favorite foundations of all time at this point. And I have high hopes for this. So I picked this one up in 3 different shades to address all year round, hopefully, because I really hope I'm going to like this one. This comes in 24 different shades. It retails for $12. You get 0.8 fluid ounces of product. So that's the equivalent of paying $15 per fluid ounce. And 24 shades is pretty good. I'm looking at the distribution of the shades, and 5 are fair shades, 5 are dark shades, and everything else is in between. So I like that at the very least it's an equitable distribution. I like to see at least several shades at the dark end of the spectrum for inclusivity purposes, at least as many shades as there are at the fair end of the spectrum. Now, if you have the fast base stick, I noticed that there's a new shade 0.5, which is a fair cool undertone shade. So yay if you are fair. I am in the summertime on the fast base stick. I'm an F4. So F4 is light with cool undertones. I also picked up F1, which is fair neutral, and I picked up F3, which is fair cool. And I think right around now I'm going to be a fair 3. My face and neck are pretty much as pale as they ever are. My arms still have a tiny bit of sun left, but I'm wearing long sleeves today. So I think this will be what I go for today. Since we are not in the dead of winter, let me tell you guys some of the claims here. I'm on Ulta's website. This foundation is currently getting 4.4 out of 5 stars with 24 reviews. Of course, that's a small number of reviews. It's a new foundation. They say, Makeup Revolution's Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation offers lightweight yet buildable coverage in 24 skin true shades. Versatile foundation designed to suit every skin type and tone. Oil-free yet creamy formula dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish. Won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. You're speaking my language, Revolution. Housed in a luxe glass bottle, jumbo doe foot applicator, which I cannot stand, but supposedly gives you greater control with less waste. Highly pigmented coverage can be layered or diffused to suit your look. Blend out for a real skin finish. Yada yada. Use a damp beauty sponge for a veil-like finish. Small amounts. Okay, this is vegan. It is cruelty-free, paraben-free, oil-free, and bravo, I'm excited. So let's take a look at some swatches and compare these 3 shades to some others in my collection. Alrighty, it is Swatch City and I am the mayor. The first few swatches I've got are of Makeup Revolution foundation. So the first swatch is the Conceal and Define foundation in shade F1. Second swatch is Conceal and Define in shade F3, followed by the Fast Base Stick in F3. Very similar tones. Next is the Conceal and Define in shade F4, followed by the Fast Base Stick in F4. Then I've got the CYO Life-Proof Foundation in shade 101, Wet n Wild Photo Focus in shade Rose Ivory, and last I've got the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in shade 101 Classic Ivory. You may notice I am set up differently again. I rearranged all of my vanity area. If you follow me on Snapchat, you witnessed the process that was rearranging this. I got new lights, so please bear with me. I appreciate your patience while I figure out the proper light bouncing and light everything. Like, I realize I've got more shadow on this side of my face than this side at this moment, but I wanted to stay on schedule and get this filmed. So thank you for your patience. I will work on getting the lighting all perfect and magical and beautiful. But yeah, so I'm facing the other direction now, like it was in the good old days. If you've been around for a hot minute. Now, I'm starting out with a 43-year-old face. I have some sun damage, and holy cow, is it just me? It's going away, you guys. I started using the P50 Bio, what's the name of that company? It's like that cult stuff that's been around since the 70s. I've been using it every day, and this whole patch of like freckly stuff is starting to go away. This is starting to go away. Oh my god. I digress. Got some sunspots I like to cover up. I do have enlarged pores, especially on my cheeks here. I have some texture between my eyebrows. I got the forehead lines. I got the crow's feet that like to come out when my skin gets dehydrated. My smile lines are a pain in the behind. They like to either collect foundation or have no foundation over them at all. So those are the things I'm trying to mask, cover up, disguise with my foundation. And since this claims to be potentially full coverage, I'm hoping it masks everything. I'm going to go in on one side of my face with a sponge. This is from Shop Miss A. This is the AOA sponge, the one that gives a little donation to Animal Rescue. It's like $1.55, and I really, really like it. Other side, favorite brush, e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. We'll see if there's a preference one way or the other. They did recommend a sponge, so we will see. We do have the giant doe foot applicator. I'm going to put some of this on my palette so you guys can kind of see the consistency. Fairly thick. Really no running happening whatsoevs. I primed with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer because full coverage I usually try to get a little bit of extra moisture going on, and then around my smile lines, my forehead lines, I've got the Strivectin. Oh, camera's getting confused. Line blur effector. This stuff is amazing. That blended out really easily. I would say with a sponge and one pass, I'm at maybe a light medium coverage, very light medium, high light maybe. I can still see sunspots poking through, but all of my redness is pretty well cleared off, and that blended out super, super fast, and I did not use all of that product. So let's see how the brush side does. That blended out super easily, and I feel like the coverage and appearance is about the same on both sides. So if you have a preference, sponge over brush, I would go with whichever one you like the most. I think this shade might even be a little too light for me. I'm going to dip in and try and build this up just a smidge on some of the areas where I need a little bit more coverage using F4, the next darkest shade. This one is for light skin, cool undertone. You guys, this looks really pretty. I don't have my magnifying mirror here. I have a different little mirror that doesn't have lights because the lights on my Simple Human were messing with the camera. Anyway, so this mirror that I'm looking into does not magnify. So I'm going to get a little bit closer just so I can see what the heck is going on. Please don't tell me that Kat Von D needs to vaccinate her children. I know, I know. Dang, you guys. This is smooth. Real smooth. Hockey starts tonight. I'm filming this on Wednesday. Do you guys watch hockey? Do you remember last year the commercial with the Blackhawks? And they're like, smooth. Real smooth. Real smooth. Doggone though. That's smooth. This is doing a beautiful job at smoothing texture, smoothing over pores. Beautiful job. My smile lines look a little bit accentuated. What else is new? It's not settling into them, it's just not blurring them nicely. Same with my three big forehead lines here. It's just not smoothing them over, but everything else, It's 11:17 a.m. Let's call the check-in time 11:15. I'm going to put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. We're back. I am loving the finish of this foundation. It is so pretty. I only built it up to about a medium coverage. I definitely think you could build it all the way up if you wanted to. I had no trouble blending anything with this foundation. I am trying for the first time the Revolution Fast-Based oh my goodness. Trying for the first time the Revolution Fast Base Concealer. I have this in shade C4. I do have the concealer, the Conceal and Define Concealer, and I really do enjoy that concealer as well, but I had never tried this one, so I picked this one up, and no trouble blending anything at all. I'm really liking where we're at. The only downside I feel is that my smile lines are being accentuated, and that bugs me a little bit. It's a thing that I don't like to have happening, but otherwise, we are off to a really good start. This set itself down. I don't even think I needed to set it with powder. I did with the tiniest bit of the Milani Prep Set and Glow translucent powder. Wow, cannot talk. I'm running late for work. That is the problem. So I did set wherever I was going to blend powder on top of this. I ended up having no trouble blending anything. There's a cat hair on my nose. This is going to become an epidemic lately, you guys. On the rest of my face, Physicians Formula Butter Blush, Natural Glow, Lumi Bronze It Bronzer, Highlight, Wet n Wild Zodiac in Air. Oh gosh, you guys. Love it so much. On my eyeballs, you guys. How many times can I say you guys? This is a shockingly good palette. I mean, I don't typically like Maybelline. I don't like a lot of drugstore eyeshadow formulas to begin with. Like, I love Wet n Wild. It's probably the only one I can say I regularly love. This palette is beautiful, blendable. The payoff is wonderful. This shade right here, this shimmer shade, I have it on my lid right now. I mean, oh, hello. This is gorgeous. And mascara is the NYX Worth the Hype. So that is where we are starting out. Oh, lip. You know, a holographic lip gloss is really not the right thing for this look, but it's the only thing that was sitting in front of me and I got to run. So I'll be back later on in a few hours with a daylight check-in. Then I will come back at the end of the night, give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, oh my goodness, we are losing light fast. It is 7:15 in the PM. So, oh my gosh, are we at the 8-hour mark? I'm so sorry. I did not get a chance to do a check-in any earlier, but doggone, this looks nice. Still, I haven't looked at myself in a mirror in probably 6 hours. What do you think, guys? I'm digging this stuff. I am. Yes, I'm having a conversation with myself right now, but you're watching. There. Get some close up, far back. There you have it. I'll be back in a bit once night has fallen for my final thoughts. 10:41 p.m. We are approaching the 11.5-hour mark with the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. How did it hold up? First off, I will say very comfortable, very lightweight to wear. I don't think it is drying at all. I feel very comfortable. In fact, I pretty much forgot that I was still wearing a full face of makeup and was touching my nose about an hour ago, which is why I have so much product worn off of my nose. But I think that does speak to one thing. This is not transfer resistant. I didn't have any noticeable issues with it transferring throughout the day, but in the instance where I was sitting at the computer, forgot I hadn't taken my makeup off, touched my nose, and I mean, I was rubbing my nose basically, and it rubbed right off. So I would not consider this to be transfer resistant. I do think over the course of the day, what I thought was accentuating my smile lines did sort of melt together, and you can probably make it melt together even faster if you use some setting spray, which I did not use. I tend not to in my reviews. If I do use setting spray, I let you guys know. It's usually a last-ditch effort when something is looking terrible on my skin. So I think you probably can make that melting process happen a little bit faster if you use some setting spray. So that really nullified itself. Did not have any issues with that throughout the day. I don't feel like I had settling into lines. I did not have any issues with pores or texture. In fact, I think my pores and my texture were very, very nicely smoothed. Let's take a look up close right now and see where we're at. In general, I think the foundation is just doing the usual kind of product separation that happens around, you know, the many hours mark of the day. Overall, if I hadn't rubbed my nose, I would be exceptionally happy with how this foundation is currently looking. It did wear off around my nostrils a bit anyway, but the wear down process, I think, other than rubbing my nose, has been very graceful. I can still completely see my bronzer, blush, highlight, so makeup stayed in place. My forehead still looks quite nice. I don't have any issues with it sort of gathering on the texture in between my eyebrows. It's not accentuating lines or crow's feet or anything like that, which means to me it's not drying my skin out. It's not dehydrating my skin. I tend to have normal to dry skin anyway, but it dehydrates fairly easily. This one has not dehydrated my skin. I am really happy with this foundation. I think it works well on drier skin. I think it can work really well for maturing skin, especially if you're looking for something to smooth out texture and pores. I think it looks really pretty. I think the coverage is really nice with a little bit of product. It feels very lightweight. You can probably get away without setting it. It dried down very nicely. I still did set it lightly, but you know, I think the only downside is it's not terribly transfer resistant, and that's true of most foundations. So I'm okay with this. If I had to give a grade to the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, is smooth. I'm going A-. I really, really like it. I think it's not perfection, as very few things are, but I think this is a beautiful foundation. I think it wore really nicely on me. I think I probably like it the texture-wise even better than the fast-based stick, although the convenience of the fast-based stick, that is way up there on my list of loves. I do not like these large doe foot applicators, but yeah, I'm going A-. I'm pretty doggone stoked about having 2 drugstore foundations in a row kind of knock my socks off. All right, I see you, drugstore. Keep on bringing it. Keep on bringing it. My wallet doesn't need to buy all that high-end stuff. We'd be fine at the drugstore. I'm happy. This is a good day. It's a good day. So there you have it. What foundations would you like to see me test? Now I can point behind me again. My bin back there, I still have at least a dozen foundations to get through that I have already purchased that need to happen and get reviewed. I'm working on it, guys. I'm getting through them as fast as I can. The busiest time of my year is going to slow down in about a month, and then I will be able to pour my heart into foundation reviews and knock out another foundation fest. Oh, did I say it out loud? I did. We'll get one soon. Look for one November-ish. I promise I will be working on that next. Let me know what you would like to see. If you don't know which ones I've already reviewed, hit up geekoutofwater.com, click the Foundation Fest link. I've got a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all of the foundation reviews that I have ever done. There are more than 100 of them on there with all the data. Scroll that spreadsheet, swipe it to the side, look at all the data. I love spreadsheets, numbers, data, patterns. It's lovely. I'm a nerd, totally nerd. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for new videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification bell if you want to be notified and not miss any of them. And thanks a lot. I appreciate your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.